today we are going to start Math 16 Lesson 1. First, I'm going to share my screen with you. So the first one we have, you should already print this out. This is the note. I post this note in Canvas, okay? So you can print it out before watching this, okay? Then as you watch this video, you can fill out this note together with me, okay? All right, the first one here is 2/3 divided by -3/5, okay? How do we do this? Well, when we divide, okay, so when we divide, okay, so what happened over here, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplied by the reciprocal of this fraction right here, okay? The reciprocal of this is going to be negative. So what do you mean reciprocal? Reciprocal is going to be the numerator and denominator are going to switch, right? The sign is not going to change, so it's still negative. So the reciprocal of this is -5/3, okay? It's -5/3. Now after this, you are going to multiply across, okay? So 2 times, okay, first let's decide the sign. Positive times negative is going to be negative, okay? And then 2 times 5 make 10, 3 times 3 make 9. So the result here is going to be -10/9, okay? All right, the second one here, now you're dividing by this integer, -6. So divide by that is the same as multiply by its reciprocal. The reciprocal of -6 is -1/6. So when you take reciprocal, the reciprocal negative is still negative. So it's not going to change the sign. So it is going to be -1/6, okay? Notice that 6 is the same as 6/1. So reciprocal of 6 is 1/6. So the 6 is going to go down in the denominator and the 1 will be on top. Reciprocal is not going to change the sign, so reciprocal negative is still negative. Now after that, you're going to multiply across. Negative times negative is going to be positive, okay? So the result here is going to be positive, okay? And 1 times 1 make 1, 2 times 6 make 12. So it's +1/12. Number 3, okay. Now we are going to square this negative number. You see the parenthesis here? Whatever inside the parenthesis and raised to this power 2, this is the base, whatever inside the parenthesis, okay? So the base here, the 2 here indicate this base is going to multiply by itself twice. So I'm going to repeat to multiply -3 here, okay? So -3 times -3, okay? So repeating the base twice. Negative times negative is positive. So the result over here is going to be positive. So it's +9 over here, okay? Okay. Now looking at this number 4, okay? This is kind of similar to this, except this doesn't have the square, the parenthesis right here. Notice that in that case, then the base for this exponent is only the 3. So the 2 has, this exponent has no control over this negative sign. So it has nothing, so the negative sign is going to be copied down, carried down like this. And you're going to repeat this base over here twice. So 3 times 3. So the result here will be negative. So this negative sign here come here. 3 times 3 make 9. So result here is -9. Notice the difference between this one and this one. This one has a parenthesis, positive result here. This one doesn't have a parenthesis, only repeating this 3 here. So result here is -9, okay? Similarly, this one here is this parenthesis here, and raised to this third power. So we're going to repeat this base over here. Whatever inside the parenthesis is a base. So we're going to repeat that 3 times, okay? Now after that, you're going to multiply across, okay? You multiply across over here. 3 times 3 make 9, 9 times 3 make 27. 4 times 4 makes 16, and then times 4 makes 64. So when you multiply across, you get 27/64, okay? Number 6, we're taking the square root of 121. Now, when you take square root, you think about what's the number. When you square that, you'll get to 121. Now, 11 is the number. 11 squared is 121. So square root is going to reverse the square. So the square root of 121 is going to be 11. The positive square root of 121 is 11. So therefore, positive square root of 121 is equal to 11. Okay. Right. So now the next one, this time we're taking a negative square root. You see this negative sign here in front of the square sign, that indicates it is a negative square root of this number. Okay. So the negative sign is going to stay in front. Positive square root of 49 is equal to 7 because 7 squared is 49. Okay. So negative square root of 49, it is going to be negative 7. Okay. Now, so we'll have negative square root of 49, it is going to be negative 7. Okay. So this indicates it is a negative square root. Okay. Number 8, we're taking the square root of a negative 4. Okay. Now, what happened over here is we're taking the square root of negative 4. Okay. Looks like the pointer. Okay. Looks like the pointer doesn't. Does it work? Okay. The square root of negative 4. We're taking the square root of negative 4. Okay. Now you just need to think about what's the number when you square that equal to negative 4. Okay. So let's try some number. So 2 squared is equal to positive 4, right? Okay. So positive 4. And the square of negative 2, what's the square of negative 2? Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So again, it is going to be positive. So as you see over here, when you square a positive number like 2, the result is going to be a positive number like 4, right? And when you square a negative number like this negative 2, the result is a positive number again, okay? And no matter what real number that you square, the result is never going to be negative, okay? So there's no such real number that will give you a negative result, a negative number result. Okay, so there's no such real number here when you square that equal to negative 4. Okay, so we'll say that square root of negative 4 is not a real number. Okay, so it's not real. Okay, in the future you're going to learn it's actually an imaginary number. Okay, but it's not a real number. Okay, so when it's not a real number, we have a short way to write that. We call that undefined. Undefined means it's not defined as a real number, okay? Not defined as a real number. Just call it undefined, okay? So today you learn about undefined. Undefined means it's not a real number, okay? Okay, now the next one is positive square root of 1, 4, okay? Then you need to think out what's the number when you square that equal to 1, 4? Well, 1 half. 1 half times 1 half gives you 1, 4, okay? So 1 half is the positive square root of 1, 4. So it's 1 half, okay? Now, the next one here, what is the square root of 0.09? Well, you need to think about what's the number when you square that equals 0.09? 0.3 is a number. So therefore, the square root of 0.09 is equal to 0.3, okay? So the result here is 0.3. As you can see here, if you times 0.3 by itself, then you get 0.09. So the square of 0.3 is going to, the square of 0.3 is 0.09, and the square root of 0.09 is 0.3, okay? Now we're going to take a break.